Okay, welcome to iOS Demo Day. This is going to be iOS 14 and iOS 17. So we've got students from Unit 1 as well as students from Unit 4. And we are going to be sort of going over those projects. We're going to do a bunch of projects, probably take a 5-minute break, and then we'll finish up with the rest of the project. So we're going to start with iOS 17 and look at what they've worked on. Now, the format for this is we've got about 4 minutes for presentation. I will do a hard cutoff at 5. So if you're still talking after 5 minutes, I'll cut you off so that we can go into questions, and we'll have up to 3 minutes for questions for the different projects. Okay, and I have, I think, a master list of all the students who are presenting. So it's like 11 plus 6 potentially. So we have around 16 or 17 presentations today. So that's fun. Nanye, are you here? We're going to start. And if you want to kick us off, that would be fantastic.
Sure. Hello, I'm Nanye. I'm going, I have to share my screen. Okay.
Try now and see if that works.
This is fine now. Okay. So I created a journaling application. It's for you to take notes of any sorts. You can put your bullet points, you can just write as you go and just like express yourself through the application as well. So yeah, it's an application for easy daily journal entries. The key features is that you're able to close out of it and you'll be able to go back in and you'll see your previously recorded notes. And you'll have a notification to ensure that you know that your note has been saved. So this is a quick little video. So when you open the app, this is what you first see. If you press the plus button, then you'll be able to write a note for your, or a title for your note, as you can see. And then typing all slow. And then you go ahead and paste. I went ahead and pasted instead of you guys seeing me write. And then when you press the Ready Set Note, you'll get a notification that your note was created. And then you'll press finish, and then you'll see both of your notes appear there. And then you click on one of the cells, you'll open a new window where you'll be able to see the full note. And I'll do it for both notes. And that's that. So when it comes to my favorite piece of code, it was definitely the save button, because putting the notification in was really hard for me, and I was definitely a struggle. But once I got it, I was able to like play with the title and the message and like what I wanted it to say. And I was also able to configure the button since it was such a struggle. So I gave it some color and made it a little bit more fun. For the future of Create Daily, I want to be able to allow for people to get a timestamp of when they did record the note in case they want to go back on, you know, April 15th, this is what they wrote. I want people to also be able to add a photo into their notes as well, and also to categorize them into different tabs, whether some of them are tasks and then things that you want, you know, future goals, different things like that. So yeah, that's my presentation. Is there any questions?
Awesome work, Nanye. That's super exciting. I forgot to post, but we'll do it here. We've got a student appreciation thread. So why don't you jump on over there and give us your favorite emoji. It's the iOS 14 and iOS 17. And Nanya, can you show us the screen again so that we can see the app?
Oh, yes. Where I'm doing the recording?
Yeah.
Okay, play it. So that's when you open it up. And the second screen.
So personally, I really like kind of the theme you've got going on here. It's not just, you know, like a white view controller here. Did you use like a custom font here for like the what's on your mind, or was that just a font that was built in. You just chose it from the storyboard.
Yeah, when you go into the storyboard, how it has the custom category. That's, yeah, I selected it's called Note Something. I figured it was really nice,
Yeah,
simple.
that's good. Cool.
I love the recording. What did you use?
I recorded it on my actual phone, and then
Wow.
there was a website that I went to. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I was able to then put it into the iPhone frame as well.
Excellent. And then how was it getting multi-line text in your table view cell?
It wasn't too hard. The cell wasn't my hardest part. It was getting the cell to connect to the next screen. That's what I wanted, because I wanted to make sure that you can be able to pop up and see the full note.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that took a while.
Awesome work.
If you remember that website, could you send it to me?
Oh yeah, once I'm done sharing my screen,
Please.
I'll be able to find it and I'll send it for sure.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Have you had anyone use this app yet?
I mean, I gave it to my dad to play around with yesterday.
Yeah.
He doesn't really know how to use the phone, so he was just excited that I made something.
That's awesome. It's always the best.
Yeah. He's like, oh, what's this? I was like, don't break anything.
Awesome work. Well, thank you. If you can post in our student appreciation thread, maybe a screenshot if you have one, or just the link that you used for the video so that other students can learn how to do that, that would be excellent.
I will. Okay.
And thank you for kicking off our demo day.
Of course. Okay.
So right now, if you look over in Slack, I'll pull it up. If you head on over to the iOS channel, we've got our student appreciation thread, and it is right there. So why don't you call out Nanye and share what you thought of her app, and if you have something positive, share it there. Let's try and keep the feedback today to being positive feedback. It's been a hard, tough week for a lot of us, and we are time limited with this build week, so there's only so much you can do, and it does take a lot of effort, and sometimes it's the little things that might stand out, like getting a notification to pop up on the screen with an alert. So post something there, and let's go on to our next presenter. We've got Kelson. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'll go ahead and pull it up.
Super.
Okay, so the app I created was a countdown tracker called Are We There Yet? And I'll just start off with the demo. And it's just your pretty basic countdown app. Is it playing? Should be playing. Yeah, so it's just your pretty basic countdown app. You're able to put an event or whatever it may be, a birthday, maybe a trip to somewhere, put it in the text field, select the date, whatever date you may be leaving, and then any notes that you may want. So for this example, I did a trip to Spain, and just adding some notes in there, and you can save it. And then you can have all your countdowns in a table view. And then when you click on it, it just gives you the timer that automatically updates with the amount of days, hours, minutes, and seconds, as well as any notes that you can edit or anything else you would like to put in. The features are, you can add multiple countdowns. You can have as many as you want. And you can also add any notes or anything you may think of before you arrive to your event day. And then the third feature is just a super cool timer. It updates up to the second even. So that's pretty cool. Some future goals. Let's see here. Yeah, so just be able to change some background images on the app and on the timer, just so it looks a little bit more different, a little bit more exciting. You can add a custom image of maybe wherever you're going, or some birthday things or whatever it may be, and customizable font throughout the app so that the user can change the font to the way they may like it, just to make it more of their own. And then just being able to see how much time is left on the cell itself, just on the table view. So that's it. That's pretty much all I've got. Any questions?
Excellent. Thank you for sharing. Can you go back to your screen? Could you replay the video maybe while we
Yes.
do questions? Cool. What was a challenging thing that you ran into working with those timers? Was there
The timer
anything?
itself, to be honest, we had done something somewhat similar, but not exactly the same. So I kind of had to figure out how to implement. I had to use a function that I found on Stack Overflow and kind of adapt it to make it my own and put it in this app, which was pretty challenging and required some help, but it was good, and I learned a lot.
Good job, Kelson.
Thanks. Any other questions?
I just want to say that I appreciate your enthusiasm and reaching out and finding the answers that you needed. That's outstanding, and it shows a very good approach to what you're doing and what you want to do in the future. So keep that up. Excellent.
Thank you.
And did you run into any difficulties with having multiple timers running?
No. I tested it out. I think I had 20 at once, and it was still going good. So there was no issues there.
Does it play anything at the end, or does it display something different?
Yeah. So at the very end, I actually had a screenshot in here. I don't know why I took it out, but it says you've arrived.
Nice.
When you arrive there. But yes, it does.
I dig it. Thank you.
Yep.
Great work. All right, Joe, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
You ready to present?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Well, take it over.
All right. I just chose the movie tracker application that was kind of provided for us. I called it Binge It Baby. Excuse me. Here's a little screenshot. Oh, sorry about that. Darn it. Sorry. Okay. The little screenshot of it. It's just kind of a multifaceted movie tracker. It's supposed to kind of get rid of the endless scrolling through Netflix and Amazon. So you kind of just do it once a day, and then you add the movies to your watch list, and yeah, then you don't have to scroll through when you're ready to watch a movie. I'm going to give you guys a little demo of it here. A little launch screen. Okay. All right, so yeah, I set up this collection view like this, and kind of has your movies, genre, rating. I forgot to remove this button. That doesn't do anything. But what you can do here is click on any movie, and it pulls up this little modal presenter for detail about it. It's got the cast and a little synopsis, and you can add these movies to your watch list. Add a couple here. You go to your little alert. Parasite. And we'll do this one. And then it saves it over to your oh, you can go to your settings. It says you have 4 movies on your watch list. Wow. There's some user info, and then watch lists. and this little thing here. And that's about as far as the app goes there, but there's plenty of other stuff I would like to eventually implement into it. Here's my favorite chunk of code. I've never really customized anything as far as like table views and collection views, so just kind of setting up different properties for the cells was pretty exciting for me. So there's that. And then the future, maybe create like sections separated by which streaming service they're available on. A way to have, what does that say? Okay, so yeah, you'll be able to hit a button on one of the movies and it'll take you to the streaming service. And then maybe being able to save a time and date that you want to watch the movie and you get an alert for it. So there's that, and then I guess that's it. Any questions?
Yeah, I got a question. So how do you make the color very beautiful like that?
So what I actually did was just found, let's see, I just Googled like unique background colors. So I think it's essentially supposed to just be like a background. So that's what I just put an image view on the back of all my view controllers and stretched it out and used that. So that's the background. And then as far as the, cell goes here, the cell has like kind of like some black lines around it, and then I put some shadows behind the movies there, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. I just kind of copied the background across all the tab bars, or that. But yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah.
What was your inspiration for building the app?
I really didn't have one, honestly. I kind of I looked at a couple other like movie tracker apps, and I guess that's where I drew some inspiration from. I knew I wanted to kind of do this, well, the little carousel thing here, because I mean, that's like 90% of streaming services have some kind of carousel collection view. So yeah, there wasn't too much like deep inspiration. I kind of just picked one of the choices and seen what I could do with it. So yeah.
Awesome work. I think this is really cool. I really like what you've done. I mean, you know, adding a simple background image and tweaking the cell a little bit goes a long way in just the presentation style. There's not, you know, much you have to do to get it working. As far as the code goes, it may have taken you a while, but now you know how to do it, and next time it'll be a breeze, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay, so let me ask you this. This is always one of my favorite questions to ask. If you could go about this build week differently and have it, you know, improve in some way, what would you do differently?
Oh man,
how would you approach it?
That's weird that that's the question you asked me, because that's the question I was thinking about all day, ironically. Probably like everything, to be honest with you. So I kind of got messy at the beginning with the controller, and I just wasn't ready to implement data, and I was worrying about getting all these, this dummy data in here. And then I was just really indecisive on a lot of UI things, and I definitely next time will be a written plan. I know we kind of did it and we were supposed to follow it, but I mean, once you kind of get going, you just go on autopilot, and then next thing you know, you're I just spent 2.5 hours pretty much accomplishing not much, but yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I had a lot of fun with it, and especially experimenting with the UI stuff. That was definitely my favorite part, and just kind of being able to feel like I can freely do something was inspiring in itself. So
definitely
went really well for me, I think.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree. It's always fun to let you guys kind of do your own thing where it's not, following directions. So really nice work. That's awesome.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I almost couldn't get my mic unmuted. Sorry. How did you go about doing your table, your
your cells for your table view. Those are, it looked amazing.
Yeah, so
Your outlines.
I just pretty much started doing like cell dot content view, and I was just kind of winging it for like a good hour or so, just seeing what looks good. And don't ask me how I ended up with this chunk of code here, but I mean, just experimentation and trial and error, really. And then, like I said, the background image really, helps a lot, because I made the cell clear, the background clear, so it's kind of like a, little translucent feeling to it.
Yeah, when your black borders, I like that. It looks amazing, bro.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's all with the core animation layer. So when you're customizing that stuff, the thing that he's diving into is that dot layer, and that just has different properties that you can customize. Super cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Enzo, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Got some kind of disc golf tracker?
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm an ultimate frisbee player. I've dabbled with disc golf, but
so I made a disc golf tracker, and
awesome.
See, if you don't know what disc golf is, it's a game in which a concave plastic disc is thrown into each of the series of metal baskets situated on an outdoor course, the object being to complete the course using the fewest possible throws. So here you're able to enter your course name, the number of holes you use, and the number of players. And they will appear back into the disc golf view controller, which will display the name, the number of holes, number of players, and also the time at which you created the game. Oops, sorry. Yeah, you can have up to 4 players, and you can switch between the segments, enter number of strokes. Par is automatically set to 3 because most disc golf courses are 3, and it automatically saves the data for you. It's supposed to play, so show you that you can input the data, switch between the segments, and they will stay there, and also go back to your game, and then they will all still be there. Future goals, I want to add names, so you can input names of each person. I want to have another view. I wasn't able to make it, but to have the total strokes, par, and also total score, so to calculate that for you. Maybe a group picture at the end of each game, so you could have you can go back and just look at the games, your past games. And yeah, any questions?
Awesome. When you did the persistence, what was your method of saving the data?
I just saved it to the P list, or I made that P list, saved it.
Nice. Can you bring up the UI again?
Yeah.
I got a question.
Yes.
So how do you put the segment control on the navigation bar?
Yes. What about it? How did
how do you put that on that? Like.
Yeah, so I just put a segment control on there, and then in my my controller, I just added the outlet, then also just had an update between the table view.
Yeah, that's actually my first time I see some like segment control on the navigation bar. Yeah, it's really cool. Thank you.
What inspired you for this app?
Well, I play a lot of disc golf, and me and my buddies do too. But we haven't been able to meet up lately, so they're not been able to use it. And we have an app, but it's also one of the features they said that automatically set the par to 3 would be really nice, because most of the holes are 3. So, but you have to individually input that in the app that we use. So.
Good stuff, Enzo. Well done.
Thanks, man.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Brian, you want to show us MediTracker?
Sure. Let me get it. So this is just a basic medicine tracker that covers probably 80% of the preceding sprints that Spencer Curtis taught us. You can add and edit your pills, and you have notifications. I just did 4 slides. Let's see, run it. So you can add a pill. Let's see, what's a pill you guys can think of? I already got ibuprofen, I think, and Naprox. Let me see what I got on there already.
How about vitamin D?
Vitamin D, okay. So, let's see. Vitamin D. Take one of those. I don't know, 500 milligrams daily. It's not a prescription, so we'll toggle it over to a vitamin, save it. I'm going to be down there in our supplements. Schedule an alert. Home. Show you. And that's about it. I had limited time, so I didn't have a whole lot of stuff that I could put in here. So, any questions?
Awesome. What is something you learned from working on this app?
Probably just to do the MVPs that correlate with the preceding group projects. To be honest with you, and don't try to do too much more than maybe than you procured, the knowledge that you procured for that week from your instructor, if you will. That's what I learned.
Awesome. Did you have any trouble?
I was having a little lag from my internet. That's why I disabled the video for a second at least. I can put it back on now if I can stop one of these programs.
Did you have any trouble with notifications appearing?
Actually, I did. So that's why I did it to where when you press the home button and you see the notification there. So I have to work on that. I didn't have any time really to ask anybody about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just worked around it.
But typically, so when we're working with notifications, if the app is in the foreground, it's not going to pop up. It's more for when it's not in the foreground. So there's different ways for interacting when it's active.
Okay.
Yeah. Super cool. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, I have Quayne. Am I saying your name right?
Wayne, are you here?
Yes, I am. Let me share my screen. Hold on. Yeah, guess. Sorry, trying to get my simulator up. Well, I'll just talk about it as it loads. I didn't and I also didn't know we could do stuff like this on a MacBook, like a presentation thing on Keynote. But I have a little bit of stuff written down in that too. But for now, I did an app. It's called Me, Myself, and I. It's just like a privacy app. Like, I don't know if you guys like, I know I hate personally, like calling up Apple or something like that. Like, oh, I forgot my this and that, or that and this. Because they honestly don't know what they're doing. And it seems like they never actually worked with an iPhone in their life, even though they work at Apple. So I know I don't like that at all. So that's what kind of inspired this, because this just happened recently to me because my computer broke and I was trying to access my stuff too. So, but how it works, I'll just show you more than talk about it. The password is lined up. Yeah, I'll test it. If you type in anything else, like, oh, it doesn't actually do anything. So it has to be Lambda for it to work. And then it presents this table view controller that has, you know, if you want to kind of log your passwords maybe, or like log your photos, and then I can log photos by just adding it. It'll come up. This covers the part where we are talking about persistence and I don't know why it's not clicking.
Are you on a breakpoint or something when in Xcode, perhaps?
Let me open up Xcode.
Or is there like another hidden view that's like stealing our inputs?
Yeah, I never. Hold on, I'm getting followed. It's something to do with my in my password section.
Did it crash or did it throw a breakpoint?
It threw something about in my files, because I persisted not only this photo part but the other part where you input your passwords, and I guess that part kind of crashed maybe. I don't know. That doesn't have really anything to do with.
Okay, well, if it's crashed, we're not going to be able to keep clicking on things, so that won't work.
Yeah, I mean.
Do you have any slides to show?
No, I didn't. I have the app. It works. I just was using. I don't know what's going on.
If you like force quit it in the simulator, does it work?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's a building.
Yeah, live demos can be hard.
I wasn't prepared for this actually. I was going through it and I'm like, all right, everything works, and I wasn't prepared for this. Come on, it's working. There we go. Okay, so what's supposed to happen? I guess it's mine. Yeah, it's something. I just added something like a couple minutes before this all started, and I guess that's what it is.
So tell us what should be happening at this point. Just walk us through what.
It's going to present. I was going to use this on my girlfriend's phone, but I just use a simulator. But it was going to get all your pictures, and you can go through and select which one you want to put, and it's going to populate a collection view. And what I really wanted to do as like a stretch goal too was to delete that photo that you select out of your library, like delete it out of your photo and just move it to the app. I'm gonna do that, and then also like maybe add a, like it pops up white and you have to tap it to reveal the photo. And then what it actually does do is when it populates your collection view, I can click on it and you can view it in like it's like it like, you know what I mean? Like a black background when you can view the picture full screen. Yeah, it does that. I don't understand why I'm not clicking anything based on that. It's giving me the error. It's saying I persisted the stuff in my passwords wrong, I guess. The file doesn't exist, but it has nothing to do with this part of the app, so I don't understand why it wouldn't. But
Got it. And then what is the other passwords view that was in there? What's that do?
and that you go on it and you can add a website, like what website you're actually saving it from, and then your password to that website. And you can add it to your collection, to the table view, but it doesn't actually show any information, just shows the website. It doesn't actually show the password, and you can click on it and it presents a whole nother view controller that presents the website and the password, like on that view. Just sort of like how the pictures, you can click on it and present it. All of it was just, oh, that's sad. I was so proud of myself too that I actually figured it out. Man, yeah, it's okay though.
No worries. This is also where sometimes, and this is not just for you, but this is for everyone. Like when you're going either for a job interview or a code challenge, or maybe you're pushing something on the latest build for a company and you're trying to deploy an app, last minute code changes can always sort of be problematic because you don't test them as much and you're like, oh, this isn't going to affect anything. And this is why we have certain best practices for writing software. And this is when you get into unit 3, this is why we want to do unit tests and potentially UI tests to walk through those things. Now on a limited schedule, we don't have all the time to do something like that. But sometimes a change that we make in one file will break something in another file, and it doesn't make any sense. And so that's why we have software design patterns, because they're trying to help us do things the right way. So that's a little bit why we learn about MVC and sort of sharing data throughout our applications. Thank you so much. This is a good start and definitely a learning opportunity.
It is. Actually, I just want to give a quick shout out to Spencer, because he said, do your hardest task first. And I actually didn't listen to him and I did it last, but that turned out to be the easiest task. So I actually was able to finish this. So thank you, I guess.
No problem.
But appreciate it. I'll just go check that out. And again, thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Excellent. Rebecca, you ready to present your binge watching calculator?
I don't see her.
I'm currently in here, Paul.
All right, I'll move on. If Skylar, if you could reach out to her, that'd be great. Ron, are you ready to present?
Yeah.
Excellent. You want to take it over?
I have a QuickTime recording.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ron Houston. I built a mortgage payment calculator for our Unit 1 build week, and I'm excited to share it and show you what I've built. My ideal is someone shopping for a house, shopping for a mortgage. Maybe they know what their principal, the amount they need to borrow for the mortgage, and their term and their interest rate will be, but they're shopping between maybe 2 or 3 different mortgage lenders and they're comparing interest rates, or they can't decide between a 25-year or a 30-year mortgage. And my calculator kind of is a neat, easy way to see what your monthly mortgage payment will be. It helps you budget for buying a house, and it's kind of neat and easy to use. let me demo the app right quick here. Here's the application I built. Single view controller. I'm happy with the way it turned out. This is the aesthetic I was going for. So I want to buy a home for a 30-year mortgage at 3.92, right? And with these details, I'd like to know, what will my monthly mortgage payment be? $742. Great. That was easy to use. One challenge I had when building it was constraining the buttons in a way that looked right. Once I had the labels and text fields formatted, it went a lot better and was able to kind of get everything constrained in a way that looks good. Okay, thank you for bearing with me. Demo app. A future goal is to build native advertising onto the application. I was thinking maybe add banners, although I don't really want to clutter the view. Perhaps a second view controller that could be sponsored. It could be a table of mortgage interest rates and banks that are lending with links, or some kind of sponsored content that would make sense. Probably add to the experience. Are there any questions? Here is the formula I used to calculate what the monthly payment displays. I tested it against the calculator that's built into Google, the mortgage payment calculator that's built into Google, and I was happy with how the app worked because it seemed to match what the internet was showing too. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for sharing the calculation. It looks scary to me.
Yeah, what was helpful to me was to break it down into small pieces and then build each piece of the, I guess, math equation. And then with those little building blocks, I built them all into a kind of a formula in a playground, and worked at the end of the day.
Awesome, thanks.
Did you run into any issues implementing that formula?
Well, I started kind of looking at the one on Zillow and trying to build that, but it wasn't matching the result when I would actually just put it into a mortgage payment calculator. So then I was like, it wasn't, I mean, it took probably 3 or 4 times, but it just, once I kind of broke it down into each bite-sized piece, that seemed to make the difference.
Got it. Excellent work. Yeah, so that's the thing that comes with sort of app territory, when we can take these crazy, scary math equations and we can code them up, we can apply that logic, and then it makes it a lot more friendly for someone like an end user on the App Store to do those calculations. That's one of the nice things I think about mobile apps, is that we can empower people to make calculations that are super complex. They don't have to worry about the math. We can just teach the computer how to do it once and it works. Thank you, Ron. Right, Vincent, are you ready to present?
Yes, I am.
All right, take it away.
All right. Are you guys able to see the simulator on the screen right now?
Not yet.
So you see just Xcode in the background, right?
No, I don't see anything yet. Share your screen again. Okay, now I see Xcode.
Simulator.
Yeah. You hit Command 3, you can make the simulator bigger, I think, or Command 1. Oh, nope.
Oh, that is the big size. Yeah,
You
because it's
can-
on a 1440p screen.
Okay. You might be able to drag that bottom corner. I don't remember if that's changed. And
No, that's actually the limit of the size there. It
Cool.
would be bigger on a on the MacBook display itself, but it's
No
on a
worries.
1440p external monitor right now. So my app's basically a calorie tracker. I did have to kind of go back on some design goals, but I try to keep it, native UI looking. So you have a list of, you can have your meals that you eat or input today. You can add meals. I know these aren't actually meals. I use the stock photos inside the app. So yeah, you wouldn't actually eat flowers. I mean, you could, but you wouldn't want to eat like this waterfall, for example. It shows you your goals, your calorie amount at the bottom, and your current of whatever's added on your list at the moment. You add more meals here. You give it a name, calories, and select it with the image picker. We'll go through your photos. The original intent was to add a SQL database that would have a relational database. That way I would actually have the date added too. So it wouldn't just be a today tab. It would just today will be at the list, and the list would continue propagating down. Be like, that was yesterday, that was the week before. You can filter it into month view, week view, and everything. But I had issues translating like basically a SQL helper class into Swift. I had basically the persistence down, but I had trouble creating a foreign key and properly filtering it because I'm new to Swift, but not new to programming. But so I kind of reneged on that, and I went back and I just used the plist file just to get this working, because Wednesday night I was like, I'm on the cusp of making this work, but I can't run the risk of not having something to turn in. So Thursday I went back and I just did things the way that we were showing in class. So the history here, this would have been a list where you could see where it would be a table view or a collection view. You can have a slider between the two, and it would filter out by, you can have drop downs for, I was going to have drop downs for filter by week, filter by month, filter by year. You can kind of see a rolling and sorted list of your history, but this is just one big amalgamation of everything you add into the list at this point. And under options here, you can set a calorie goal, or you can reset today, because if I can't have the application automatically sort by a date object, I had to have a manual way to reset the your running total for the day. So I added a little button that pops up a little alert, and whenever you do that, it actually clears out today, and it moves it over to the history. And it didn't add twice. It was just I added the same pictures twice for the example. But aside from that, that is the application.
Nice work, Vincent. You are making me very hungry right now.
Yeah.
How did you style your buttons?
I had an external, I modified the IB inspector properties. So I had a extra bit of Swift code here. So I went into the IB designable, I extended from IB designable, and I added border width and corner radius. These are properties you could have done by just going, for example, I saw, I think it was Joe that did this. So he did cell dot border radius and stuff. I could have done that, but I went for just this. You can just do it in the inspector. It's effectively the same, a different way to do the same end result.
Can you show off that storyboard that actually has the IB designable asset?
Yeah, actually here, let's close down the terminal there. So this is the storyboard, and the buttons actually show up square in the storyboard, but you have this new inspector attribute up here in the top right, and you can actually change the border width, radius, and border color. If I were to add more elements to that extension, it would actually just add more rows to that there.
Yep. So that's a super neat technique. If anyone wants to leverage something like that, that's IB designable. If you Google it, you'll find it. Sometimes it'll update live in the storyboard, so I'm surprised that it's not doing it for you right here. The other thing that you could open is the preview in the top right corner of your storyboard canvas. There's like 6 lines in the storyboard canvas itself. There's the preview, and that may show it. It may not if we have it selected, and it doesn't seem to be.
It's not a big deal because it doesn't. I'm not dealing with anything that might potentially clip with the corners. It's
right. It's just it's frustrating from like a visual feedback, and this is why I like Swift UI so much, because you can actually make changes and they do propagate. The one thing I would say with IB Designable is it can be a little bit tricky to debug sometimes. If you're doing something simple, it works pretty well, but it can get a little hairy. So thank you for showing that.
I was gonna say too, I think you can mess with like the corner radius and stuff in the identity inspector as well. That's another way you can do it too. Yeah,
there's that. If you go over to the identity inspector, there's that extra view. So the identity inspector looks like what is that, 4th icon, I think, on the right. Looks like a driver's license. And then when you're modifying it, all those things that you're modifying go into that key path. So you can customize key path values there as well.
Yeah. You'd have to add it here manually.
You would just do the plus, and you could do like
it's just this, but like manually here.
The IB Designable is a little bit user friendlier.
It's a piece of reusable code that I've had from another project, so it's just just copy and paste.
Looks super nice. Any other questions?
I was gonna say I actually built a framework doing exactly what you did that I use in pretty much all my projects. But actually, if you want to reach out to me, I can help you kind of set it up. But what you end up doing is, for the buttons that you want to do, if you're going to do like a custom UI button, you would actually write the class in your round buttons.swift, and you would call that in the custom class, and it would automatically update when you change something in the attribute inspector. Sorry, I got my family in the background screaming. So, but yeah, it's an interesting thing. But if you ever want to reach out to me, I can share you, and I can help you kind of achieve how to get that set up in a more proper way so that you can use it for future code. Since I've already pretty much did all that stuff in under my framework. So
yeah, for sure.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Vincent. I really appreciate you showing us, and then also diving a little bit deeper into how this worked. If we can help you sort out why your history didn't work like you expected, that could be something we can look at afterwards.
The history thing, it was just I needed a relational database. I needed a table that would have the meal. So this property has meal name, calories, and image, right? But I needed a table that would relate that to meal ID and date. So that way you could store dates without having a lot of data duplication. Like I said, I already have it branched out. So this isn't something this isn't its final form. I'll be playing with this because it's going to be like a very minor portfolio piece for myself too. So
for sure.
I'll keep working on it.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back here. So I will share a timer, and we'll come back after the break.
Paul, you're muted.
Okay, sorry, I'm talking to myself. I was awfully quiet. Violet, are you ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Take it away.
So, good afternoon, everybody. Give me just a second, and I will have my keynote up. Thank you for your patience. She's a little bit slow. So I did a med tracking app. It's a revolutionary simple way to track your medications. You input the name of the medication, and you just toggle the switch to show that you have taken your medication. Here's the link to my GitHub repository and to the Trello board. Your meds displayed in a pretty list. Med names in purple, and the toggle switches have high contrast color matching. They've got the really dark gray and the bright purple, so you can clearly see when it's toggled or not. You can just go ahead and hit the add button and type in the name of your medication and hit save. Super easy to add them in. And in the future, we're going to add some AM and PM toggles, as well as it's supposed to be customized time toggles. Notifications for when you take your meds, gloss up the UI, as in like adding different images for medications and stuff to show you like if it's a pill, maybe what that pill looks like so you can remember all that fun stuff. And of course, custom notifications. Whoops. And here's a demo. I've already got a bunch of meds added. Just toggle it to show that you've taken it. And you just add a medication here. And then you hit save, and you have a new medication added to your list. That's any questions?
Awesome work, Violet. What was a challenge that you ran into while working in this app?
There wasn't anything really specifically that challenging, like within building the app, except for the fact that I tried to change names halfway through because the first iteration was called Meds for Noodles. It was not very well thought out. And so I went and tried to change the name to the current Med Tracker, or MedMinder, sorry. And everything just kind of failed. So I had to start my project over.
Got it. So you were actually changing the Xcode project name, and it was failing to rename some stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't bringing over the right files and everything. So
yeah, that's that's a tricky one. There's some hidden build settings that if you don't manually update them and you've changed folder names, things get a little bit wonky. So sometimes starting a new Xcode project is the best bet. Very cool.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thank you, Violet. All right. Rebecca, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Are you ready to present?
Yeah.
Excellent. So you have a binge watching app?
Yeah. I was trying to share a screen and it keeps saying everything's unknown. Does that really matter?
Unknown. Is this your first time doing a screen share, or have you done that before?
I've done it before. I've never seen it like this where it just says everything's unknown.
In the share dialog, it doesn't show you your desktop?
Yeah.
And if you do it again, it doesn't work.
Nope.
I guess one thing you could try and do is you could try quitting Zoom and coming back and see if that helps. And I'll pull you back in.
Sorry about that.
Another thing is if you haven't updated, maybe try that to see if Zoom is up to date. So if you are in Zoom and you go up to, where's their update? Check for updates, and in the top left corner of Zoom, if you click on the menu bar, zoom.us, you should see a check for updates. Just make sure it's the most up to date, and then you can come back and I'll just, when I see you again, I'll pull you up when we have another opening.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Oh.
Akmal, are you ready to present?
Yes, I'm ready.
Did I say your name right?
Yeah, it's Akmal. You got it right.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Take it away.
All right, so I have a medication track up called Track Your Meds. I know it's sometimes when you have a lot of medications, it's hard to keep track of them. So this app just keeps it all in one spot. So key features are you add your medications. You can add the name of it, the dosage, how many times a day, and the pill count, how many pills are in the bottle. And every time you click OK or take medicine, it subtracts a pill. So, you know, when it's getting lower, you can get a refill. And when you're done or you don't need to take the medication anymore, you can just delete it. I'll show you a demo just real quick. So yeah, this is your main page, your home page, and you go to add. Let's say, I don't know, Advil. You have 500 once a day, and there's 40 pills you save, and it comes up. From here, you can either click take medicine, and when you push OK, you see it's 39. This is when also when you click on the pill, the medication itself, you have all the details here. And you see it says 39. Click it again. It's 38. So you know when it's almost empty. Some future goals, local notification. So it would remind you to take your medication whenever you set your time to. Also a refill feature. So like when you run out, you don't have to delete and re-add. You just click a button and it refills for just as many pills that were in the bottle before. And some built-in information like side effects of the medication or any details or anything like that. So that's pretty much it. Any questions? I'll be happy to answer.
Nice work, Akmal.
Thanks.
Can you click on you clicked on the detail screen or something? Where was that?
Yeah, you just click on the cell. Oh, you click on a medication and it comes up.
Okay, and then each time you press that, it's decreasing the quantity? Is that what you were saying?
It's every time you click take medicine.
Uh-huh.
So when you take the pill, you get a little confirmation. You should say again. It tells you how much you should take, how many milligrams, and what. And you press OK, and then it decreases the count.
Got it.
And if you click cancel, it does not.
How was your experience creating that custom table view cell?
The cell itself wasn't that difficult. The most difficult part I had about this app was the notification, not the alert. And how it would subtract one pill every time you pressed OK.
Was it hard to just send that information to the right screen?
Yeah, because I was doing it in the cell and it wasn't letting me present, so I had to make an extension here in the view controller.
Nice. So you use the closure there.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much. I think that it's nice to colorize that with that green. So
Yeah, it was very aesthetically pleasing.
good.
Thank you.
Okay. Rebecca, were you able to check to see if quitting Zoom helped?
Yeah, system preferences opened up.
Okay. So it was hiding somewhere?
I did a TV show calculator that calculates the episodes in a TV show. I got it from an REST API. So if you just type in it just returns the amount of shows in each episodes in each show. I had it before where it was filtering into a different view controller where you can kind of delete the shows or show the ones that you watch. But I think I did something with the data I was getting from the API, so it was messing everything up.
Which API are you using?
Episode date.
And then what was one challenging thing that you ran into in working on this project?
It was passing the data into different view controllers and which I couldn't get. I have no idea where I messed up on that, but that was the most challenging aspect of it.
And are there other shows that you can search for right now, or is it?
Yeah, you can search for as many shows as you want. It filters up.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think you got to press enter.
Oh no, it's updating at the top. It returns the amount of episodes in each TV show.
So it's just a lot of these shows have
Yeah.
episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
For sure. Very cool. And what is something you might want to do moving forward?
To get it back to working where I was able to click on show details where it would show the everything was into different views with the seasons and the episodes. So it was a lot cleaner to understand what was going on and seeing and adjusting what the shows that you watched.
Very cool. Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, I think that's everyone from iOS 17. Is there anyone I missed? Super. All right, so we're going to move into iOS 14. These are Unit 4 students. And to kick it off, Scott, why don't you take over and show us what you've been working on?
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So I made an app for a local CrossFit gym. So the idea with coronavirus, they're doing at-home workouts right now. So every day they send out a video. So I'm essentially just making a feed, with a quote unquote live instruction from an instructor. So this is the basic feed page. I only have I had to make all these by hand, so these videos are getting sent to me. So I only have 4 in the collection view right now. But you can click on a video and it plays. You can pause it, you can play it, keep track of it, you can minimize it, you can select a different one, you can bring that up. I have the ability to move it around. You can put it anywhere on the screen. Then you can just swipe it off the screen to get rid of it. And then you can go to a different one. And yeah, that's about it. The only thing, I want to add the ability to have workouts in here and then be able to actually log them so you can track your progress over time. So that's the only thing I didn't get finished. That's it.
That's super cool. How was working with moving that video around?
So what I did wasn't hard except for the getting rid of. I had a few issues. Basically, I would be able to swipe it off the screen and I'm like, okay, but I could still hear the video playing in the background and I couldn't start a new one. But it was a rookie mistake. Basically, I had a strong reference cycle to that view controller still. So once I made that weak, I was able to get rid of it. Moving around wasn't hard. And then, like I said, I do want to essentially copy what Twitch does, where if you get halfway up the screen, it locks up here, right? And if you go halfway this way, it locks over here. I pushed it to the end, and I didn't want to have a broken app for demo. So I'll get that done. It's just basically calculating where you are in the screen and then driving it, out of there. But just the moving around part wasn't hard.
What do you mean by lock it? Do you mean snap to a certain spot?
Yeah. So once I'm let's say I start here, right? Well, let's say, right. So you notice basically if I'm over halfway up, I want it to snap to here.
Okay.
Right. And then if I'm halfway this way, I want it to snap to here so that you can't be here. Right. I wanted to snap to the 4 corners, but I didn't want to risk it. I wanted a working app. And that's so I mean that stuff's harder, but just moving it around is pretty easy. You just literally, wherever you're touching, you just put the screen there.
So did you use a pan gesture recognizer to do that? Did
Yes.
you use a UI control?
I did pan gesture.
Cool. That's awesome. You can do some fun stuff with those to play around with the velocity. So if you flick it super hard, they don't have to move it as much, but it'll still go up to the top right or whatever. So
yes, and I was playing with Twitch last night and I noticed that they can sense velocity and I'm like, ooh, I want to try that. But again, I didn't want to risk it, this morning. I didn't want to risk it.
Totally. I really like that. I know Twitch and YouTube have that where they'll let it keep playing in the background. And I think that's a really cool thing. I always appreciate it. So very cool.
And then, I unfortunately with this, with the logo, it just looks better in light mode, but obviously I did do dark mode as well. So I just don't like the way the logo looks up there.
Yeah, so for that, you'd probably need to.
Yeah, he's going to get me a better one. He said he has the same complaints on the web. So
Yeah.
until then.
And that's a design asset from his business.
Yeah.
So. Super cool.
Are you trying to build the next YouTube? It looks like YouTube to me.
No. I obviously I took a lot of inspiration from that, but it's mainly for my friend's gym with no one being able to go to gyms right now. You know, it's kind of nice.
Awesome.
And then do you have a back end for this right now?
I do. So I like, and that's where a lot of my time went. Like I only technically have, you know, 2 screens built. They're pretty complicated screens, but still, you know, so I built like a full back end on Firebase, and then I have all the assets hosted in S3. And like, so basically Firebase is just like a mapping table for it all. So I just go get like all the workouts, like the workout feed, and then I go to S3 and I pull down all the assets, like so all the images of the coaches, like these are all thumbnails I had to make by myself, and then the video is playing, you know, from S3 as well.
Scott, that's very nice.
Thank you.
I like it.
Thank you, Scott. This was super cool. I love seeing the animations. I love seeing the gestures, doing a lot more with video, making a custom video player. There's a lot you accomplished this week.
There's so much state management in that video player. It's unbelievable. Like you have to manage every single piece of state. And like I was learning things like, you know, what about when you're playing a video, but then you select another one, the whole thing would just break. Like your duration wouldn't update. Like, you know, killing your I'm doing a lot of key value observing, so killing them and resetting them. Like there's so much state management in there. I'm like, this thing's just gonna blow up one day.
It's a great start, especially for 1 week. Thank you.
Real quick, I have to dip out, guys, but I'm definitely going to continue watching iOS 14's presentation. So don't think that I'm leaving because, you know, I don't want to watch or anything. But I've got a couple interviews to do. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks so much.
See you, Spencer. Okay, so up next, Elizabeth and Carrie. Can you show us your wedding project?
So Carrie is sharing her screen. I think we're just waiting on her. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I can share. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So, let me hit play. So our app is called Something to Remember. It's by me and Beth. Our app's mostly about like planning a wedding, like helping you budget for it because it can be stressful. And that's the little icon that Beth was able to make. This is a demo.
Yeah, this is where you can sign in, and like we just showed that it authenticates in the Firebase. It'll come. I was just going to show the background for a little bit. But anyways, the password is on the privacy. So when I start to type in the password, I promise that it's there. I try to screenshot it and show you guys that it's actually there, like with the dots. But for some reason, it just kept on coming up like just not there. But it is there, I promise. So yeah.
So that's a security feature so that
Yeah, that's
when you're
it.
typing passwords and you're screen sharing, you don't show your password to everyone. So that's to be expected on iOS.
Yeah, so, but it's there, I promise. And then after sign up, I don't show it in the video, but it does open up to the main app. And then this is where you log in. So basically I'm doing the same exact thing. And this one I think shows where it opens up into the app. And the password again.
Okay. I think.
Yeah, it's done.
Okay.
Okay, and then this is the personalized homepage right here. We unfortunately didn't get to do everything that we wanted to do, but basically you can just add your own picture and then a wedding date. And we're still working on setting up like a countdown part for the app. Like we want to add so much, but 4 days is a little bit of time to do it. But yeah, that's like one of our features that we plan on adding. But yeah.
Okay. This is the budget tracker. I think it's video. I can spin around stuff. Yeah. To track your categories and total budget. Let's see, the next slide. This is our checklist too. These are 2 videos that are going to be playing at the same time, so we might have to watch them twice. We'll see. Yep. You can add the task, and then if you choose a date that's farther away, it turns yellow. And you can enable notifications. You can edit it and rearrange the order of them too. This is with SwiftUI. And I think that's it.
I think you have to press enter again to get the other one to show up. I don't know if you want to play that one too.
Oh yeah, there we go. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for the checklist. Okay, next slide. And future features, we want to update the personalized page, and also make the pie chart a little more interactive, and then also the countdown.
Yeah, and like with the personalized page, I think we want to add like where they can add like their names and then each party side, like who is the maid of honor and just like everybody there. But yeah, just basically what Carrie said. There's like we still want to work on it a lot because 4 days is not a lot. But we do plan on continue working on it, and then maybe like making it look more aesthetic wise, and hopefully one day get it on the App Store. But yeah.
Awesome work. Can you show that graph or chart again, your pie chart? What was the animation? Was that triggered by moving something or when it first shows up? That was super cool.
So in if I was to run the app, when it first comes onto the page, it tilts a little like this and flattens the circle shape. But when you click on it, if I can play this again, when you actually click on it, it can spin and then each piece can pull out if you click on it.
Got it.
And the color's random too. The colors.
Yeah, the colors change every single time you open up the app.
And how was working with that chart? What did you learn out of that process?
The charts, it was the CocoaPod, so it wasn't too bad. They had a really good documentation, so that helps a lot. They're still working on it though, so I don't know. I think the hardest thing was probably the checklist with the SwiftUI, just because I feel like there's not a lot out there about SwiftUI yet. So it was a little frustrating, but yeah.
That's nice that you use SwiftUI. Super cool. That looked really fun with just the list view. Can you go back to that screen too to show everyone? You don't have to play anything, but excellent. Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I got questions. So how do you integrate SwiftUI with UIKit?
For which view?
So how do you you build a UIKit app and then you just import the SwiftUI?
So the checklist is actually all done programmatically. Everything else was done in the storyboard. If that
Awesome.
answers your question.
So how do you like SwiftUI compared to our UIKit?
I like it so far. I probably don't have enough information to have a great opinion about it, but I do like it from what I learned.
Nice.
You can do a lot with it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Excellent work. Thank you, Carrie and Elizabeth. Okay, up next, Ufuk, are you ready to show off what you worked on?
Yes, I am.
All right, take it away.
All right. Okay, you can see it, right?
Yep.
So my app is called Orange Pages because it's like a basic version of Yellow. Yeah, you can create a profile. Oh, first of all, I chose this Firebase SDK and for about the user object of Firebase and the interaction between the users. You can sign up and log in. If you sign up, you have to have a name. It can be a personal name or a business name. That should be a business account. Once you sign, you got a profile. It's built like a business card. You have your name, your phone, your email you're signed in with, and text view to add a short information. In this case, it's a fax number. And you can also add the profile picture if you want. My main feature is the search function, I would say. You can search for other them to your favorites, either on the collection view or on the detail view. And once you have that, you can open your favorites and see all of the contacts you saved if you want. And I actually added all people in my cohort. Just added Jesse, and John is the last one, I guess. You can add him, and you saw this updated my list. This is the detail, and John is down here. And yeah, for the future, I want to add a feed where you can post things like photos or text or Instagram. And I'm not able to delete favorites now, so I have to add that and more design features. I think would be good.
Awesome. Thank you, Ufuk. Any questions?
Please teach me how to build a webcam screen. It's very awesome.
Okay. Oh, thanks. I think, yeah.
How did you build that screen?
Just on the storyboard. I can show you guys. I have it here. So I have different storyboards for login and main. That's it. Couple labels, image views.
Do you use SF symbol?
Sorry?
Do you use a San Francisco symbol by Apple?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Nice. I love that.
How does the search work?
So I have a search function in my user controller here. Yeah. And I'm calling it on the collection view. I have a on the, I can show you not right now, on the navigation bar. And when the search is finished in the extension, I said it should call this function. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. Yeah.
And like you're using Firebase, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Thank you.
What was something that you learned when you were working with Firebase? I know you worked with the SDK here.
It was easier. It wasn't easy for me to implement it, but it was easier than I thought. I thought I would need more models and more controllers. but well, the first time it's out.
Thank you.
Thank
All right. Next up, Nick, are you ready to present?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Awesome.
Before I start my demo, let me ask you guys one question. So you guys know what is the gift? Raise your hand if you know what is the gift. All right, cool. All right, so let me share my screen. Share. So this is my app. I name it very simple, gifted. So the app on the have one feature is like you put in the input as an image or video, and I turn out the output as a GIF. So I use the framework and API. I use photos and a core image, and UI use a collection view to build the UI. The future plan I'm gonna add some more features such as AR and dark mode and drag and drop, and try to also upload it on App Store. Let me okay. Let me install it to start from scratch. So I play it on my phone right now. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm gonna ask myself for the authentication, but I'm not gonna go the happy bat here. I'm gonna go to SK, so I'm gonna deny it, see what happens. Okay. Turn it on. Cool. Right. So in order to make a GIF, we have to put some input. Right, I'm gonna grab some photo here. Okay. I'm gonna grab some dog photos. All right. Let's see what we do here. Let me increase speed a little bit. Right here. Also, I want to change the. I want the husky go first. Okay, cool. So that's change the position of a collection. And I also want to add some filter to it. Let's see what cool here. Add this one here. All right. Yeah, and that's it. So I got a gift, and then I can say to let me send a gift to myself. So okay. And I did it. Yeah, I got a gift.
Nick, the team is amazing. I like
Yeah,
the purple. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Can you show it to me again?
Yeah.
Can I see it again?
You see the team?
Yeah, the team. You like the first page.
Yeah. Of course, right here. CBI. It's called CBI like core image.
No. Go back. It's like the first screen of the app.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, that's open source. I can DM you after class. So yeah, and I also can create a GIF from video. So I can grab a video here. I grab a video. Can play it. let me export it, the GIF, right? I can save it. And then I got a GIF. That's it. That's it. It's just, yeah, this app do one thing. Yeah, it's just make a GIF. Yeah, super simple. Yeah, that's only it's just make a GIF.
That was amazing. Thank you for showing that. That was a really funny witch GIF.
Yeah.
You should post that to Slack.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I have a lot of fun making this app. Yeah, you know what? That's the first reason I do it, because it's so fun. So I decided to make this app.
And were you able to get the text to be modified? I saw that you had text in there.
No,
When you're making a GIF.
that's the future. The future. So right now I'm not have enough time. So yeah, definitely do it in the future.
Got it. Any other questions for Nick? Awesome. Well, thank you.
Appreciate
Very
it.
well done. You've got a whole lot of features in here. So you covered both the video frameworks and core image, which is super cool. And I love that you had those live previews showing that, and then just getting it so that it could export as well. That's super cool.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Great work. And if you're in Unit 1 or you're just starting out, we're going to get into video and core image in Unit 4 with me. So it's something to look forward to with playing with those APIs. And you can make something like that, leveraging collection views, table views. There's a lot going on there. Right. Jesse, are you ready to present?
Hey, yes. Let me get this all set up here. There we go. Okay, my application is called Vocable. It is a speech-to-text application. So you speak into it, it will write out your text for you. You can then save it, and then you could export it as a PDF, sending it via iMessage, email, etc. Some problems I ran into it. I first started with CloudKit, and I think I may have just set it up wrong in the first place, because I didn't start with it in the application. And then I think all of us run into this is just time. There are some features that I wanted to finish and some tweaks, but I just ran out of time, especially when I couldn't get CloudKit to work. Some of my future goals with this application, obviously set it up with CloudKit, better transcription. It does transcribe pretty well, but I would like it to be able to maybe add a period at the end of your sentences, kind of splice it up a little bit better. So I'd have to do some research to figure out what I can find out there for that, as well as a better PDF format. Right now it's pretty simple, but I think I can change it up a little bit if I spent more time on it, and then better UI as well. And okay, let's demo this guy. All right. So my little app icon right there, Vocable. And it's building. Okay, here we go. So you start here on the main screen. This is a table view. This is my little empty state. So then what you have to do is just click the plus button in the top right-hand corner to get started. People would like to use speech recognition. Okay, sounds great. I can click a title. Let's say meet with John, who is my TL. And now I could start recording, and it's going to ask access for the microphone. And now I can go ahead and start speaking, and it will write out everything that I say. So I'll hit the stop button, and I will save this. We'll then add it to the table view. So keep it there for the future. When I go in here, I can then edit if I want to like make like bullet points, or if I misspoke or something like that, or if I said too much, I can make it look a little bit better. Oops, sorry guys. So then if I have that preview button down in the bottom left corner, if I tap on that, it's going to show me a preview of the PDF document. And then swipe down to get rid of it. And then bottom right hand is the share button. So then I could share this with John if I wanted to. I think right now I'll probably just send it to my wife. Just for the example. And that is it.
Awesome. Can you keep that back up?
Yes. Yeah. Here, let me. The application. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
Okay.
can you show the speech view again? You went through that really quick.
Is it this right here?
Yeah, where you were talking.
Yep. Let's do a test. And she's saying she got it. Yeah.
So when you're dictating, does it get periods, or does it not do that?
When you're just speaking, it doesn't add in the periods. That's something I'd like to work on. You would have to say period, I'm pretty sure, and it would add it. Yeah. So it adds it like that. So naturally, if you're taking notes or if you're in a meeting, you wouldn't say period, comma, exclamation point. It would naturally come up. So that's something that I would love to figure out for a future goal. Yeah. I will stop it.
That was super cool. I see it picking up my voice.
Yep, and then just saves it here. So then if I go ahead and delete these guys, then my empty state will come back up. I think I got, let me see if this will work here.
And this is all done with CloudKit?
No, I wish it was. I'm using the speech API that Apple has, as well as the PDF kit. But I have it all set up with Firebase. So I defaulted to Firebase as soon as I couldn't. I just didn't want to lose any more time trying to figure out with CloudKit. So, but in the future, that's the hope. So then I could sync it across multiple devices and everything like that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jesse. And I think if I've counted correctly, we've got one more. Kirby, I think you're our final presentation. Do you want to show us what you've been working on?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
Can you guys see?
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Hold on. Okay. So the app, it's called a journal. It's a it's a camera app that helps you capture your like your daily experiences and get insight on the experience itself. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Now I'm going to run it. So this is it. This is like, but this is the login, the register screen. And this is with Apple, by the way. You can log in with Face ID. And when you log in, because early on, like I was playing with it, so I was filming. So this is why there's like 3 videos at the bottom, right? So basically, it's like it's a journal. So let's say you're writing a journal, and you close it, and when you open it again, you always want it to be exactly where you were the last time, right? So this is it right here. You can film something else. So we can film right now. I can say today was a beautiful day, and stop it. And when you stop it at the bottom, well, I'm getting that video from the database, right? And it's putting it to the next queue. So when you come back to the app, right, you can keep going and keep going and keep going. So if I stop it right now, right, if I stop it and run it again, just 1 second. You will be logged out, right? Because it's a journal. Like you never want the journal to be open. So this is on purpose. So you have to log in again. It's very quick. And everything will be here. You can continue where exactly where you left off, right? And you can also view the video. You can pause it, do some playback. You can, this is supposed to be a transcript, but hold on. Let me see, just 1 second. So like I'm speaking, you cannot hear it, but I'm actually speaking right now. And I'm saying exactly, do you see the text at the bottom where it says sentiment, and at the bottom there's some text? But this is exactly what I'm saying. And the app can capture your emotions through what you're saying, right? Make sense?
Very cool. So you're
And
doing
then you
like
can,
sentiment analysis?
exactly. You can side up, you can side down. When you go up, you can go to the left, to the right. Hold on. You can go back down, down. You can turn the camera the other way. That's it.
Very cool. Thank you, Kirby.
Oh, no, hold on.
You still have a little more?
Yeah, so for the future, which means next week, there's gonna be a test flight version of the app, but this is going to be a real version, like a real thing, you know? That was like a prototype of the app, so this is it. Yeah, it's gonna be better, like the design is gonna be better, the user experience. And the week after that is going to be on the App Store. So if any of you guys want to test it, just let me know. I got you. yeah, that's it.
And what challenges have you run into? Like, what's the most memorable from working on this?
I think it was like I was like estimated what I can do in 2 days. So I think like it really humbles me down. Like I thought I could do that, but I end up doing that, right? So yeah, that's it. So this is the app right now, and next week this is the goal. This is what exactly is gonna look like. Like as you can see here, you can like exit the speech, right? I didn't do that. So by next week it's gonna be done. What else? And you can add it to your journal. I didn't do that either. And when you add it to your journal, it's going to combine like all those videos together, and it's just going to add it to hold on. It's going to add it to your journal. Oh yeah. There's more to it, but that would take too much time.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. It was great to see this. Okay, so I think that wraps up all of our presentations today. Thank you everyone who presented. Thank you for all your hard work this week. Hopefully someone's project today inspired you to check out a different API that you haven't played with, or maybe gave you an idea for exploring Swift UI or working with charts, or doing some kind of notifications in your applications, or working with video. There's a lot of different things that we can dive into, and I hope that this inspires you to sort of explore beyond what we're teaching you. There's a lot to learn. I'm still learning a ton. So don't think that just when you're finished with our iOS curriculum that you're done. There's way more to learn and sort of to explore. So use this as an opportunity. Use the next build week as an opportunity to try something different, to push yourself a little bit further, see how you feel from this build week, and think about, okay, if I want to do this again, how am I going to do it better the next time? And don't feel bad asking for help. Lots of little things can come up, and that's where our help channels are super helpful. So thank you so much for attending, and I will see you all in class. And if you ever have any apps that you want some feedback on, feel free to reach out to me. I'll see ya. Bye.